where that theory falls down is with the Charlie Kirk assassination. So if you were trying to claim that the Iranians were behind it, and there were leads from the National Counterterrorism Center, or the ODNI, that suggested foreign involvement, who knows if they go anywhere, you would follow up on those leads.
You would have to follow up on those leads.
But they shut them down.
Yes.
And that's a fact.
Not go to war with Iran, and for us to rethink at least our relationship with the Israelis. And then he's suddenly publicly assassinated, and we're not allowed to ask any questions about that. It's a data point. It's a data point that we need to look into.
What do you mean when you say we're not allowed to ask any questions about that?
We've been told that this individual, Robinson, is a lone gunman, and maybe he is. But the investigation that I was a part of, the National Counterterrorism Center was a part of, we were stopped from continuing to investigate. And the FBI will say that they stopped that because they wanted to turn everything over to the Utah state authorities.
There's more to the story. Well, sometimes there's not. I've seen the autopsy report. I've seen our case pulled together. I've been in constant contact with our lawyers, the prosecuting team. I've seen it all.
New reports just got in that Tucker Carlson has been getting attacks as a result of his investigation into what happened to Charlie Kirk on September 10th. Intel from sources close to the situation allege that Tucker might be leaning into the narrative that Erika Kirk is complicit in some way. This allegedly happened shortly after his interview with the former director of National Counterterrorism Center, Joe Kent. Kent claimed that there was more to Charlie's assassination than the lone gunman narrative that is being pushed. In other words, the notion that Tyler Robinson pulled the trigger that day is not something Joe Kent completely agrees with. This is why he requested for a further investigation into the case on account of Charlie being a dear friend to him. However, he was immediately stopped from investigating. So when Erika goes on national television and forgives her husband's shooter,
That man, that young man, I forgive him.
and in the same light ask people to stop investigating because she's seen it all.
Do you believe that Tyler Robinson murdered your husband?
Yes, I do. There's more to the story. Well, sometimes there's not. I've seen the autopsy report. I've seen our case pulled together. I've been in constant contact with our lawyers, the prosecuting team. I've seen it all.
All of these give shape to the conspiracies that Erika is complicit in some way. So let's dig into all the discrepancies of that day, September 10th. One of the many reasons why the public strongly believed that Charlie's assassination was a coordinated psyop is because of something Candace Owens pointed out called the Maroon Army. Observers have mentioned that a majority of people on the campus grounds at Utah Valley University that day wore maroon-colored clothing or accessories. Now, this wouldn't be weird if maroon was Utah Valley's signature color, however, it's not. But several individuals just happened to coincidentally wear that color that day.
Here we go. We have this young man. This is after the shot. He's wearing maroon. Show you another person here sitting there under the tree after the shot, and he's wearing maroon. Show you another person here. We're going to come back to this person who is wearing maroon because his dad is going to say something publicly. 3 people, 1 shot. All of them alone wearing maroon. We're going to come back to the guy at the top there who has the hat, the darker hat on, who's wearing maroon. Just like these strapping young men all wearing maroon. We've got this guy in the bush wearing maroon. I could go on and on. This person of how many people wearing maroon. I even have a video of someone holding a maroon shirt,
including Tyler Robinson. Now, it's not unusual for the FBI or other intelligence agencies to run undercover operations, and when this happens, the unit chooses a unit color, otherwise known as the color of the day. This is generally to allow unit members easily identify one another and other associates of their group. After the operation, these color of the day codes are often accessible to the public to see on the Department of Justice website. However, in Charlie Kirk's case, the color of the day for September 9th is redacted in the DOJ files.
Military that were saying that's absolutely a thing that the military does during secret operations in public areas. They choose a color of the day. So I started thinking, right? I was like, what if I searched in the DOJ files the term color of the day? And what do you know? I find 40 results of different FBI briefings talking about a color of the day. And every single one is unredacted. You can see what the color of the day was for that day for whatever military operation was going on. Now, most of the details for the military operation is redacted. However, on the day of Charlie Kirk's assassination, the morning of, before his death, they established a color of the day for a sit rep, which is just a military situation report, and the color of the day is redacted.
When you tie this information to the chilling realization that Tyler Robinson was already in police custody before his confession on Discord, it adds another twist to this situation. After intense investigation, Baron Coleman was the first to write about it, saying that he has confirmed Tyler Robinson was in custody at the Washington County Sheriff's Office at 6:50 p.m. on September 11th, 2025. I'm eager to hear all about how it's normal for people to post confessions to Discord after they are in custody. So if Tyler Robinson's arrest happened at the time that it did, then who wrote this message to his friends on Discord at 8:57 p.m., 2 hours after he was already in police custody?
The consequences of me being right is that there is a multi-agency cover-up to frame Tyler Robinson. Why? Because he then supposedly, an hour and a half after that Miranda recording, if I'm right, the Miranda reading, he supposedly confessed to his buddies on Discord. And if I'm right, who the hell wrote that Discord message? Who wrote it? Did Tyler Robinson write that Discord message? And if Tyler didn't write that Discord message and someone faked it, why? Why did they fake the Discord message? And if they faked the Discord message, did they fake the text messages? Well, we can't know because they're not going to introduce the forensic evidence of this. They're just going to introduce the screenshots.
What happens when you dig into this further and tie this data to an alleged secret meeting at Fort Huachuca the night of September 9th? A meeting where veteran whistleblower Mitch claims to have seen Erika Kirk, Cabot Phillips, Brian Harpel, and Congressman Mark Imodi at a military base in Fort Huachuca.
I blew it off until there was, some other pictures that came up with other people.
What other people? Other pictures?
If you want me to say, there's a picture of Erika Kirk with a ponytail, and from her past. That person matches who I saw at Fort Huachuca in the lobby the night before, and she was with that man in the lobby, and that man, he was present at that meeting. The next morning.
If you had to put it at a percentage that you saw that the girl in the ponytail matches the description of Erika Kirk, what percentage would you put that at?
Those are really rare eyes. That's 95 to 99%. I can't imagine.
Erika claimed that she was at a hospital where her mother, Lori Fransvy, was receiving treatment when she heard the news. She claims that she collapsed at the parking lot of said hospital. However, none of these claims have been confirmed to be true. Cabot Phillips has also tried to provide evidence of his whereabouts on that night with photos which he reportedly submitted to Candace Owens' investigative team. However, his alibi remains shaky because timestamps on photos can be edited. Brian Harpel, on the other hand, did an interview where he tried to justify the lack of security at UVU on that day, but nobody is buying it, especially when you have someone like Victor Marks, who mentioned that he wrote to Erika immediately after news of the shot at UVU became public. Marks told Erika not to panic, that nobody was coming after her because they only wanted Charlie.
And then I contacted Erika through a text and told her. I just told her, nobody's gonna kill you. You're safe, you and the kids. No one's coming after you. They just wanted Charlie. And I was just trying to reassure her.
How could Victor Marks possibly have known within minutes that the assassin only wanted Charlie and that Erika and her children were completely safe? He wasn't there. He wasn't law enforcement. He wasn't in the security detail. Yet he was one of the first people to report that Charlie was gone. He was 100% confident the hit was surgical and the family was off limits. This didn't sound like just comfort. It sounds like someone with inside information who possibly stood to gain something from the chaos. And maybe he did, because during Charlie's memorial, he announced that he was going to run for governor of Colorado.
My name is Victor Marks, and I'm running for governor.
So far, anyone who has tried to fight for the truth and point out the oddities surrounding Charlie's demise and Erika's behavior following suit has been labeled unhinged, a conspiracy theorist, or both. See that with Candace Owens, who continues to receive threats in her pursuit for the truth. We see the bot attacks during her live, the smear campaign of influencers that are being paid to talk dirt about her. Joe Kent was also labeled incompetent after his resignation because he wouldn't fight for an unjust course. And right now, Tucker Carlson is reportedly under the same heat for trying to find the truth. Meanwhile, people on the other side have been rewarded with elevated status and promotions. Even Brian Harpole, who reportedly failed Charlie on that day, got promoted by none other than Erika. However, the one thing that cannot be changed is that Erika's grieving widow front is falling apart by the day, and no number of threats or persuasion can hide the truth. Now the question remains, could Erika truly have been a honeypot trap set up for Charlie from the start? Was she coached into Christianity so she could impress a man like Charlie? Was she intentionally introduced into Charlie's circle by Tyler Bowyer for this purpose? To take over Turning Point USA from the inside? For now, the threads are slowly unraveling, and it won't be long before we see what the new TPUSA is allegedly trying so desperately to hide. Let us know what your thoughts and opinions are about this situation down in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks, and see you in the next one.